It's 11:47 p.m. on a Sunday. You're doing the math again. Not because something went wrong, but because you've been running these same numbers for 3 years. Rent, car, loans, groceries, and here's the truth. That paycheck hitting Friday? It's already gone. Before it even lands, a dozen invisible hands have already claimed it. You're not broke. You're just being slowly, quietly financially strangled, and you agreed to it without realizing. Welcome to CashCraft Daily. Today, we're looking at the architecture of the trap and why your money disappears before you can even say payday. Most people think financial stress is about not making enough money. But there are people making $500,000 a year who are just as suffocated as someone making $50,000. The problem isn't your income, it's the fixed cost of survival. Think about the Garcias. They're a dual-income couple making $110,000 a year. On paper, they're winning. But let's look at the silent question that runs in the background of their lives. Their mortgage, property taxes, and insurance eat $3,300 a month. Their cars, because they both commute, cost $800 in payments and $240 in insurance. Throw in student loans, health premiums, and basic groceries, and they are left with exactly $130 at the end of the month. They haven't been to Europe. They don't own a boat. They are simply financially indentured because the math requires it. Their mortgage isn't just a bill. It's a 30-year employment contract they signed without realizing it. Every career move, every risk, and every dream is filtered through that one mandatory payment. When 43% of your disposable income is gone before you buy a single loaf of bread, you aren't living, you're maintaining a liability. So how do we get here? It starts with the Diderot Effect. Named after a French philosopher who got a beautiful new robe and suddenly realized his desk looked shabby next to it. Then his chair looked wrong next to the desk. He ended up in debt, replacing everything to match the robe. Economists call this a consumption cascade. You upgrade the apartment, and suddenly your old furniture looks like it belongs in a dorm. And now the car in the driveway feels like an embarrassment. Each purchase is individually justifiable, but collectively, they consume every dollar of your net worth growth. This is the era of the fake rich. Americans now owe $1.28 trillion in credit card, yet luxury car sales are climbing. People have mastered the appearance of success while building nothing underneath. They buy the entry-level luxury trap. They want the three-pointed star, but they forget that the maintenance on that status symbol costs 20% of their income, while the truly wealthy spend only 2% on the same category. That difference compounds over decades into hundreds of thousands of dollars that never get invested. Truly wealthy people buy their flashy items after they've built wealth. The fake rich buy the costume first and hope the wealth follows. It rarely does. In 2026, the economy wants you spending unconsciously. We are living through a wealth transfer from your bank account to corporate shareholders via frictionless spending. Take delivery apps. A meal that costs $12 at a restaurant hits $22 through an app after delivery fees, service fees, and tips. That's an 83% markup for the convenience of not driving 10 minutes. If you do that twice a week, you're lighting $1,560 a year on fire. Invested at 8% for 20 years, that habit costs you $70,000. The same goes for the streaming bundle trap. What started as an $8 Netflix subscription has fragmented into Disney+, Hulu, HBO Max, and half a dozen others. The average household now spends $75 a month watching screens, reconstructing the cable bundle they claim to replace, except now they're paying more for it. And then there's the buy now, pay later phenomenon. It makes a $200 hoodie feel like only 4 payments of $50. Your brain ignores the total and focuses on the smaller number, leading you to buy things you can't actually afford. Nearly 40% of users miss a payment, turning free financing into expensive debt. So, how do you break the cycle? It starts with reaching the first invisible threshold, $10,000. Most people think $10,000 is just an arbitrary number, but there is actual neurochemistry behind it. When you have zero savings, every check engine light is a countdown to financial disaster. Your cortisol levels, the body's stress hormone, are constantly spiked. But when you have $10,000 in a high-yield account, that check engine light becomes a mild annoyance. This shift from panic to annoyance unlocks mental energy. You sleep better, you're more patient, but more importantly, your relationship with risk changes. You don't need your job as desperately. You carry yourself differently in interviews. You're more willing to negotiate because you aren't operating from a place of fear. The person with $10,000 saved is actually closer to financial independence than a six-figure earner with zero because they've mastered the most important skill in wealth building. The The people who actually become wealthy, the builders, don't do it through get-rich-quick schemes. They do it through a collection of unsexy, boring habits that compound over time. Here is the CashCraft blueprint based on the math of boring wealth. Drive an older car. The average new car payment is $772. If you drive a paid-off 5-year-old Toyota and invest that $772 instead, you accumulate $170,000 over 15 years. A $4,000 Civic arrives at the same destination as a $50,000 SUV. One builds wealth, the other destroys it. The 24-hour rule. Roughly 70% of impulse purchases evaporate if you wait just one day. Delete the shopping apps. Remove your saved credit card info. Reintroduce friction into your spending. Eat on rotation. Pick 5 staple meals and rotate them. Grocery bills become predictable, and food waste, which costs the average family $1,500 a year, drops to near zero. Treat yourself like a bill. Most people save whatever is left at the end of the month. That guarantees you'll save nothing. Instead, automate your investments to leave your account the day after payday. If you never see the money, you won't spend it. Live 2 years behind your income. When you get a raise, don't upgrade your life. Keep the same apartment. Keep the same car. Bank the entire difference. This creates an automatic margin that accelerates your wealth while your friends are trapped in lifestyle creep. The goal isn't to look rich. The goal is to be rich. Real wealth is optionality. It's the ability to leave a job that's destroying your mental health. It's the ability to say no to opportunities that don't align with your values. Path A and Path B both start at age 22 with the same $1,847 paycheck. Path B buys the car, the brunch, and the rewards card. By age 40, they are still running the Sunday night math, tired and stuck. Path A redirected $187 a month, drove the older car, and built the boring habits. By age 40, they have over $1 million in passive income that covers their life. The machine of the economy doesn't care if you're ready or if the trade is fair. It opens every morning and takes whoever shows up. But the people who show up consistently, patiently, and without flinching, they're the ones who stop doing the math and start living the life. Your money is already spent because you've allowed your lifestyle to claim it before you did. It's time to take it back. Stop pushing the boulder uphill. Build the momentum. Close the open tabs in your brain. If this helped you see the architecture of your own finances, hit the subscribe button.